But if the most ordinary object in your home, a child's toy, wasn't just lifeless fabric and stuffing, but something far darker. In 1970, two nurses thought they were bringing home an innocent gift, a doll that should have been harmless. But what followed was a trail of terror, scratches, blood, and even death. Annabelle isn't just a story. She's locked away in Ed and Lorraine Warren's museum right now, sealed behind blessed glass, because what's inside her doesn't belong to our world. Stay with me, because in the next 9 minutes, you'll hear real documented cases, eyewitness testimonies, and chilling encounters with the doll that inspired the Conjuring universe. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe, drop a comment if you believe Annabelle should never have been touched, and share this video with someone who dares to watch. Forget the cracked porcelain and sinister grin of the movies. The real Annabelle story begins with something far more disarming. A simple Raggedy Ann doll. In 1970, it was a birthday present for a nursing student named Donna. For her and her roommate, Angie, the doll with its yarn hair and button eyes was a charming, nostalgic decoration for their small apartment. A quaint piece of childhood innocence in their busy adult lives, and nothing more. At first, the oddities were subtle. Donna would leave the doll on her bed and return from a long shift to find its legs crossed. She'd place it on the couch and later find it in her bedroom, behind a closed door. The women initially suspected each other of playing pranks, but the movements became more pronounced. Their amusement turned to a quiet, creeping unease. They began to test it, placing the doll in one spot, only to find it had moved to another room entirely upon their return. There was no logical explanation. Then came the notes. The women began finding slips of parchment paper with messages scrawled in a clumsy, childlike script. "Help us." One message sent a particular chill down their spines. "Help Lou." Lou was a close friend who, from the moment he saw the doll, felt a deep revulsion, warning Donna that it was evil. Now, these mysterious notes were pleading for help on his behalf. The most unsettling part? Neither Donna nor Angie owned parchment paper. They searched their apartment, but found none. The notes were appearing out of thin air. Frightened and confused, the women contacted a medium. During a seance, they were told the story of a 7-year-old girl named Annabelle Higgins, who had died on the property years ago. The medium claimed her lonely spirit had latched onto the doll and simply wanted to be loved. As nursing students, Donna and Angie's compassion took over. Feeling pity for the lost girl, they made a fateful decision. They gave the spirit permission to inhabit the doll. It was a catastrophic mistake. The activity escalated dramatically. Lou, unconvinced by the story of a harmless spirit, began having horrific nightmares of the doll strangling him. The final proof came one evening when Lou heard a noise from Donna's room. He went to investigate and felt a presence freeze him in place. Looking at the doll, a searing pain suddenly erupted on his chest. He looked down to find 3 distinct claw marks, bleeding and raw, slashed through his shirt. The entity had shown its true face. This was no little girl. It was something inhuman. Donna's friend Lou hated the doll. He claimed it gave him a sense of dread. One night, he woke up in terror, unable to move. Annabelle was on his chest. Suddenly, he felt claws slash across him. When he woke, deep, bloody scratches covered his body. 2 days later, the scratches were gone. Desperate and terrified, Donna contacted an Episcopal priest, Father Hagen. He listened to their story, and while initially skeptical, the oppressive atmosphere in the apartment was undeniable. Realizing he was dealing with forces beyond his expertise, he reached out to his superior, who in turn made a fateful call. The case soon reached Ed and Lorraine Warren, the most famous and controversial paranormal investigators of the time. Ed was a self-taught demonologist, the only one recognized by the Catholic Church. Lorraine was a gifted clairvoyant and medium. Together they had investigated thousands of hauntings. Upon arriving at the apartment, Lorraine immediately sensed a powerful, inhuman presence. She refused to even look at the doll directly, later stating she could feel a palpable evil radiating from it, a calculated malevolence that was toying with the young nurses. After a thorough investigation, the Warrens came to a chilling conclusion. The doll was not possessed by the spirit of a little girl. That was a lie, a clever mask. They explained that spirits of the dead do not have the power to possess objects. Only demonic, inhuman spirits do. The entity had pretended to be a harmless child to gain the nurses' sympathy and, crucially, their permission to inhabit the doll, using it as a Trojan horse to begin the stages of infestation and oppression, with the ultimate goal of possessing a human soul. As Ed Warren recorded in his case files, spirits do not possess things, they possess people. The doll was simply a conduit. It was an instrument, a focal point for the entity to anchor itself to the physical world while it worked on its true target, Donna. The Warrens had a priest perform an exorcism blessing to cleanse the apartment of the entity's influence. Then, for the safety of everyone involved, they took the doll into their custody. But the entity would not let its prize go easily. Ed later recounted the terrifying drive home, where the car's power steering and brakes failed repeatedly on winding back roads. He was forced to pull over and douse the doll in holy water to stop the violent paranormal attacks. Realizing the immense danger it posed, Ed built a specially consecrated case for the doll in their occult museum. There it would sit, locked away, a permanent warning of the evil that can hide behind the most innocent of faces. Annabelle was placed in a sacred glass case at the Warren Occult Museum. A priest blessed the case and warned, "The spirit inside is not to be underestimated." On the glass, in bold letters, a warning remains: positively do not open. But that hasn't stopped people from trying. One day, a man visiting the museum mocked the doll. He banged on the case, daring it to do something. Ed Warren threw him out. Hours later, the man lost control of his motorcycle and died instantly. His girlfriend survived, later confirming his last words. That doll is just a stupid toy. The Warrens believed Annabelle had claimed another victim. Even in the glass case, strange things happen. Visitors report chills, headaches, fainting spells, or an overwhelming sense of being watched. Museum staff claim Annabelle sometimes shifts her position inside the box. Cameras malfunction when pointed at her. Could a mere toy hold such power? Lorraine often said, "Annabelle is the most dangerous item in the museum. She is not to be underestimated." The couple devoted their lives to keeping her contained. And after Ed's death in 2006 and Lorraine's passing in 2019, Annabelle still sits in the museum, guarded, prayed over, feared. Over the years, several visitors reported terrifying after effects of mocking or taunting the doll. One woman said she felt Annabelle staring into her dreams, night after night, until she returned to the museum to pray. Another claimed to hear scratching at her door for weeks after visiting. These testimonies remain unverified, but they echo across decades. Hollywood made Annabelle famous, but the truth is far darker than fiction. No jump scares, no special effects. Just a raggedy doll in a case, and the weight of dozens of unexplained tragedies tied to it. And if Annabelle's story teaches us anything, it's this. Sometimes the most ordinary objects hide the darkest forces. You've just heard the real story of Annabelle, the doll that blurs the line between object and evil. But what do you believe? Is Annabelle truly possessed, or is she the perfect storm of superstition and fear? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Beyond Fear, and check out our other investigations into the world's most chilling mysteries, because here, fear never sleeps.